Vanakkam. Welcome to this course on Classics in Neuroscience. In this series of videos, we have been looking at theoretical neuroscience and how we can consider the brain as a computer and the computer as a sort of a brain. In this video, we will look at game theory and information theory. In 1944, John von Neumann, along with a colleague Oscar Morgenstern, authored a book on theory of games and economic behavior as a testament to the range of his intellect. He was building computers, he was good with biology and brain function, and he was building a theory of games and economic behavior. It was a significant contribution, it was a milestone contribution in the field. The importance of the book was described by other people. For example, Copeland in the Bulletin of American Mathematical Society suggested it is one of the major achievements of the first half of the 20th century. And Hurwitz in American Economic Review says that the techniques are of sufficient generality to be valued in political science, sociology, or even military science or military strategy, for example. Meanwhile, they were not the only ones who were working in game theory. The famous John Nash was working on this field. Specifically, he was doing the groundwork for the general non-cooperative theory and for cooperative bargaining theory at Princeton. There were others, Lloyd Shapley, who defined a value for conditional games and a stochastic game. He co-invented the core with D.B. Gillies, and along with John Milner developed the first game models with an infinite number of players. And Harald Kuhn built or came up with this idea of behavioral strategies and perfect recall. There were others who were doing it, like A.W. Tucker, who came up with this example of the prisoner's dilemma. It is a crucial example to explain the interplay between competition and cooperation. And the work of Dale Lee, who came up with these game theory paradigms to study decision making in single neuron systems, in single neurons in the prefrontal cortex of monkeys. So, there were a lot of people who were working in this field, and the work of von Neumann and Morgenstern is considered a milestone work, a landmark work in this field. Meanwhile, other topics were also gaining prominence. Of course, after his landmark master's thesis, Claude Shannon authored, with the help of Warren, his work masterpiece, The Mathematical Theory of Communication, which is considered a landmark book in the field of information theory. Shannon came up with all the mathematics. Warren was the one who converted that difficult math that Shannon comes up with to a language that more normal people can understand, so to speak. Shannon with a double N, okay, Shannon with one more N. And in their method, information was described in binary terms. So, it is a key step towards the era of modern communication. So, because most of modern telecommunication is digital communication, right? And they characterize information entropy as a measure of uncertainty in the message. So, this had a huge impact in many different fields, multidisciplinary impact. It had an impact in computer science, it had an impact in genetic engineering, it had an impact in neuroanatomy. And this approach was used to solve a wide range of problems, from computer error correction code to biological entropy, a whole bunch of problems across a wide variety of fields were using this approach, that is the mathematical theory of communication approach or Shannon's approach, to solve their problems, which is a fantastic contribution. Of course, in the 1960s and 1970s, others such as Juan Segundo and other colleagues built upon the grand work of Claude Shannon and the principles of information theory to analyze encoding of messages in spike discharging in neurons as a form of a crucial application in the field of neuroscience. With this, we come to the end of this video. In this video, we looked at the contributions of John von Neumann and Morgenstern to the field of game theory and the contributions of other stalwarts to game theory, and the work of Claude Shannon and colleagues in the field of information theory, and how these two fields and the developments in these two fields helped to improve our understanding of neuroscience as a discipline. With this, we end this video. Thank you for your attention.